known fact that Nevada City was where the owners of the mines lived and Grass Valley was where the workers lived. I'm not old enough to have really experienced that, but what I did get to experience was the animosity between Grass Valley and Nevada City. About 1969, 1970, I went to a big fight, and I was thinking like West Side Story or something. Wow, cool. So it was up at the old airport. There used to be an airport in Nevada City, so the old Nevada City airport. And I'm thinking this will be kind of fun just to see what this is all about. And I got there, and there were all these guys from Grass Valley and all these guys from Nevada City, and they had bottles, broken bottles, knives, no guns. And they started fighting, and I mean, and it was ugly. It was not a pretty thing. It was like, oh my God, this is really bad. And I ran, I hid. I think if I remember right, I probably ran back, home. It was just like, it freaked me out. I was scared. So that was the kind of animosity. When they first built the joint union, Nevada Union High School, I mean, there was a Grass Valley High School and a Nevada City High School. I wasn't old enough to be a part of what happened there, but I heard some pretty not so good stories in the first few years. It's all changed now. It's pretty homogenous, but there's always been divisions. I imagine there is in every school. This thing between Grass Valley and Nevada City is just bizarre to me, and it's still kind of there a little bit. Not so much anymore, but for those of us who grew up here, yeah, you still know about it. Thinking back about when the freeway was put in and how it really changed the landscape of Nevada City in particular. I could take you on a tour of what it looked like. There were shops up and down the street, Broad Street, all the way from the bottom to the top. Now there isn't. The roads are different of where they went. The big Christmas tree that we used to have was a beautiful sequoia redwood that we used to always put the Christmas lights on at the bottom of Long Street and Sacramento Street. That's all gone. There was tons of forest between Town Talk, which is where the big Banner Mountain Bridge is, and Sacramento Street Bridge. And there were homes out in there. The same thing going the other way between, say, Coyote Street and over on Nevada Street. So while they were doing that, they were redoing a lot of the plumbing. Underneath all these buildings are little tunnels, mining tunnels, and you could go from one side of the street to the other, from one building to another. And a lot of these places got blocked off, of course, because kids were in there playing around and that sort of thing. So the freeway was going in. I remember crawling through these tunnels that were like sewage pipes, and I was small enough back then to get into them, and it hadn't yet gotten filthy and dirty the way it is now because they were brand new. So did a lot of that until they finally boarded it all off. But anyways, you would climb up this thing and you had to kind of do one of these little things, pressing your feet and your hands over it, because you're literally going up from the freeway up to the top of this drainage tunnel, which is up right by Callanan Park. I just went to the Willow recently. The Willow, if you have never been there off of 49, it's a steakhouse, and it's been there since I was a kid and before, and they haven't changed. It's one of the few places around that is still the same as it always was, as that old Talking Heads song goes, same as it ever was. We really have to think about this stuff and manage it and think about where we want this place to be in 20 years. Because if we don't, it'll turn into a little Roseville. I have to say, I like going to Roseville to shop. I like going to Auburn sometimes to shop. And they always used to say, well, you people in Nevada City don't want your, Costco or your Trader Joe's up there, but you'll gladly put it here. And my comment always back was, you guys made that choice a long time ago. We haven't made that choice yet. The closest we came to it was Pineless Creek, which is where the Raleigh Shopping Center is. And the horrible story about that is that there was all these beautiful trees there, and the county wasn't going to let them cut them down. They were going to have to build around it. So the developer just came in and cut them all down one weekend. That's how it works. You just pay the fine because it's easier to just do what you want to do and pay the price for it. Some of my friends that I've grown up with said, well, I'm glad the freeway's here, and I think it was a really good choice. I'm not one of those people. I liked it better before, and I wish the freeway could have gone around the town so you still have the beauty of this little hobbit place that was just so special. Clearly we have to add housing. We have to figure out the homeless situation. We have to figure out issues for growth to be able to let people build a new home when they can, or add on a granny apartment or something like that at a reasonable way. And we also have to try and figure out a way to take care of these folks who are less fortunate. Places like Hospitality House, that I happen to be on the board, we're working on some solutions to try and help with that. The county's working on solutions. I would just like to think we can think about heart, soul, and how it's really going to affect those after us, as opposed to just making a buck off of it, and manage it well.